We are also seeing a tsunami, a collapse in our global governance contract, our basic global governance contract. I've written about this in my essay, The Great Release, to some degree, The Great Divide. But what we see when we look at 800 years of sort of political economic history is we see a cycle of hegemonic breakdown. Hegemons arise, as it did with the Genoese financial network, as it then did with the Dutch United Provinces, as it then later did with the British Empire, as it did then with the United States in 1945. For 80 years, we've been living in a Pax Americana that is characterized by almost total US unipolar superpower hegemony, financially, economically, and there's a difference there, militarily, security-wise, and to a large degree ideologically. We have been foisting international liberalism upon the world for that 80-year period. But that entire 80-year cycle has shattered. It's disintegrating. This is a nuanced story we could go into if you want, but due to all kinds of decisions that we've made along the way, and typical of empires that ever have hegemony, they always end up abusing it, basically. And in particular, it is the elites within the hegemon, within the empire, that abuse it in order to extract wealth from the periphery globally and also from the domestic classes. And what you see is a extraordinary blossoming of wealth at the 1% every time. You see a gilded era at the 1% every time, because they always sell out the domestic productive classes to financialization and globalization in order to extract wealth from their imperial power. That is precisely what we've seen, and it is what has given rise to a reactionary populism around the Western Alliance. That is exactly why we are seeing reactionary populism. As Polanyi said, fascism is a reaction to the failure of market liberalism to protect society. And that is what the Great Release is. We are, after 1990, really, our international liberalism became nothing but a fig leaf. And really, we've been engaged increasingly in a realist imperialism. We're returning now to a pre-World War I imperialism, realist imperialism. And that is now not even hidden anymore. As of 3 days ago, let's see, what's today, the 23rd. So the inauguration was on the 20th. As of 3 days ago, that's no longer even, we don't even use that as a fig leaf. It is now explicit. What has, up to this moment, for several years, if not decades, been implicit. We're engaged in a realist imperial struggle and contest. And the problem is we can't be a domestic focused realist imperium, as MAGA wants us to be, while also continuing to hollow out our middle class with our twin deficits and the money supply games that the wealthy use to win, but also are part of the old game that characterized what we were doing up to this point. So this is all what's happening with the breakdown of US-led leadership on the world stage. And this is extraordinarily destabilizing because what it does is it um, it creates fractures in the social and political processes by which these countries are trying to make decisions and navigate change.